Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by New Patients Incorporated and npiClick.com. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to our podcast. We are back in the podcast mode, aren't we, Mark?
Hey, Howie. Yes, we are. Tax day is come and gone.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I bet you everybody said that, right?
Yeah. Especially dentists. They just get all hyped up about it, and they're really glad when it's all over.
I know. It's almost paralysis. It's like you get buddies or, clients, and normally they get right back to you a day or two later. And from about March 15th to April 15th, they just kind of get into some suspended animation somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, April 16th, hey man, how you doing? Haven't heard from you.
It's like I got out of jail.
I know. Anyway, happy not tax day to everyone. Yeah. And we go through the same thing. We're not making fun of dentists. We obviously, are concerned about taxes as well. So
yeah, of course. Well, we're also concerned about some really cool stuff we got going on. We told you a little bit about that last podcast about when we introduced npiClick. We're going to take a look at a portion of that digital world, that digital universe that we've dived into, called fusion marketing.
Yeah, it's. Well, let's go back to the word fusion. It actually came from the restaurant business, where you'll have like an Asian fusion restaurant, and they'll have Japanese and Chinese, fare on their menu, right? So they call it Asian fusion or what have you. And fusion dental marketing it's a trademark that we adopted for the process of strategically combining offline and online promotion for the purposes of promoting dentistry to the right people in a given dental market. And that's a pretty long paragraph. So I'll break it down for everyone. For those who don't know us or know of us, we've the last 30 years or so have been digital marketers, but we're also traditional marketers, and we're best known for the results we get through our traditional marketing, supported obviously by the digital side. And as Howie mentioned, 5 months ago, we merged with the biggest, baddest, best tech dental digital marketing company called Dental Web Now. And so now we have all these cool toys, right? So now, and if you don't know me personally, I'm a data nerd. I was a data nerd. Now I'm an overdosed data nerd. So this is, and it's to everyone's benefit. It's to the patient's benefit. It's to the dentist's benefit, and obviously our employees. We're expanding. It's to everybody's benefit. But here's what fusion really is. We took all of the testing, all of the independent consumer research. We took all of the results that we've been tracking for, I'm not going to say 30 years because 30 years ago we weren't tracking, but I'll say at least the last 15 or 20 years. And we, instead of operating independent of each other, offline and online, we said, well, why don't we marry these? Why don't we coordinate these? And why don't we orchestrate these? And why don't we test the impact of doing that on a given dental market? Now, what does that mean? Well, it can mean many things, and sometimes this gets people confused, but I'll just use a pretty classic example. We have hundreds and hundreds of dentists, clients who do our version of direct mail. And the reason I say our version is because nobody does it like we do. But let's just say hundreds and hundreds of dentists are out there. They do direct mail. And Fusion would be hitting those same direct mail targets simultaneous to their mail campaign being delivered on a digital advertising media like, for instance, Facebook.
So wait a minute. Just to clarify, I mean, I understand what it is, but we can
You're acting like a dentist right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let me be the dentist. Like, wait a minute. You mean you guys can put a marketing message into the consumer's home and on their Facebook feed at the same time?
Yeah, on their phone, on their laptop. Yeah. And no, on this, and here it gets even better than that. And this is the Fusion. This is the detail side of it. Okay. So all of our clients know how refined we target down mail campaigns, because mail can cost, pretty good money. And what you never want to do with mail is waste, right? You would try to eliminate as much waste as you can, right? Okay.
Yes.
It just totally makes sense, right? So you refine your targeting down, you target, you deploy, you run the numbers, you test, you keep doing that. You keep doing that for 20, 25 years, and all of a sudden you have a pretty good idea what works and what doesn't work. Well, now with those same people, you can hit those same people on their phone, on their laptop, on their iPad, wherever they're on Facebook, whatever audience they're in, you can hit those people with advertising. Now, here's where it really gets interesting. A mail piece. Now, we don't do many postcards. We do millions of trifolds or magazines. So when we promote dentistry, we're not promoting based on price primarily. We're promoting based on the benefits of dentistry. So let's just take a trifold campaign because they happen to be the most popular. In a trifold, you might have, let's say, 5 services that we've highlighted that we're trying to get the targets interested in. There's 5 services or conveniences or technologies. It almost doesn't matter. We just have 5 or 6 things that we're trying to convince them to pick up the phone or go to the website, pick up the phone and make an appointment. Each of those becomes an ad in Facebook, each one of those 5. So if you could be a mom in your community, as long as your income, as long as your geography, as long as your credit worthiness, and as long as your marketability index matches our profile for our mail campaign, you will get your mail or our mail, let's say 3 or 4 times throughout the year, maybe once every 3 months. But simultaneously, you're going to start seeing ads about each individual thing you saw in that mailer. So it might be loose fitting, a solution to loose fitting dentures. It might be implants. It might be sedation. It might be any number of priority marketable attributes that every dentist that's listening to this possesses in their practice.
It could also be kind of a subconscious thing too, wouldn't you say, Mark? Where have I seen this before?
Exactly.
This is familiar to me.
Exactly.
Increasing the, familiarity.
Increase the awareness and familiarity quicker than you can without each other. That's what Fusion dental marketing is, okay? It's getting a greater benefit out of both rather than running them independently.
Right.
Okay? Because if you run digital marketing independently, your bell curve, you're going to find your bell curve. Okay, it's there. Okay, it's coming. Okay, the back end of that bell curve is coming. You don't know exactly when, but it's pretty predictable depending on how many people and how many dentists in your market are doing the same thing. Same thing with Google AdWords. An AdWord campaign, even if it's optimized by us, nobody can stop 100 different dentists with $5,000 a month from coming into the marketplace and driving up your costs. Okay, nobody can do that. Nobody can say they can do that. That's basically just math at that point. But when you combine them, when you orchestrate them, when you coordinate them, you actually get to control. Remember what, let me back all the way up. Because the majority of our work is trying to introduce new information into the dental consumer's mind that's not price driven. It's not deal driven. We're really promoting to the top 45, 50% of the marketplace that is more interested in their mouth than an insurance deductible or a deal. Actually, many of these moms would kind of look at you oddly.
Yeah, askew.
If you ask them, if they would look at you askew. There's a word from the past, okay? So those are the moms we want for our clients, because those moms return 11 times the return, and they're more difficult to get. They come in lower volume, but the return is 11 times greater, so everybody wants them, okay? So those are the moms we get when we go out and we deliver something onto their kitchen table. We deliver 5, 6, 7, 8 reasons to choose a dental practice. And when she fires up her laptop or her whatever iPad at 8 o'clock at night, and she's flipping through her Facebook feed, there's an item on her Facebook feed, or 2 or 3 or more, that is very, very similar to what she's already seen on her kitchen table.
Wow.
And all we have to do is interest her in one of them once.
Yeah.
That's all we have to do.
Okay. Let's hold off there, Mark. There's a little bit more to say about this, but we're going to say it on the other side. So don't go away out there. We'll be right back. Dentists who engage in new patient marketing have been trying this and trying that for years. When one thing doesn't work, they try another thing, and on and on. Now you can get off that expensive treadmill and hire a company that has 30 years of experience in attracting high-quality new patients into our dentist practices. NPI has always had a strong reputation for its expertise in offline marketing. Now NPI offers a complete suite of online marketing with npiClick. Learn more at New Patients Incorporated or npiClick.com. Okay, we are back, and we're talking about fusion marketing from npiClick here. This is pretty cool. Normally, Mark, wouldn't you say it takes like 7 touches, so to speak, before a person out there in mail land responds, and you might have to nobody's going to respond to the first mailer, a second or third usually, but now we can actually double those touches with this pretty much the same budget, right? With this fusion.
The budget can be more, it can be the same. It's never going to be less, obviously. You can't do 2 things with the same budget. Okay, the budget, the return question to the dentist is, how quickly do you want this to happen? Okay, because the dentist says, well, how much is it? And I say, how fast? Okay, and really it just becomes it's not our money, so it's up to the dentist, right? I mean, how $50 a month isn't going to cut it. Okay, we're not going to hit. I mean, anybody can go on to Facebook advertising right now and say, okay, well, it's at least 13, 14 cents an impression. So we're not going to impress very many people for $50 a month. But the question is, what if I just printed twice as much mail? Would I have as good of an impact? And the answer is no, statistically. Mm-hmm. The answer is no, okay? Because remember, and again, I don't want to get too crazy in detail here, but there's a certain geographic reality to mail. There's also a certain geographic reality to digital ads. I mean, Google has targeting, Facebook has targeting, mail has targeting. There's also a reality of cost to deliver the same message to the same household and the number of times you deliver it to the same household before you create less of an effect. And that answer is 3 to 4 times per year. We know that. We know that's a true number. The number of times you need to mail to a household within a given year is somewhere between 3 and 4, depending on how competitive the market is. We do hundreds of mail campaigns, and none of them are under 3, and none of them are over 4. If that gives you, an idea of what you should do, okay?
Well-known data, well-traveled.
Exactly. If we mailed 8 times, the doctor would get less impact for the dollar. So that's why we don't do it. Okay. Yeah. If we mail twice in a year, the doctor doesn't get as much impact for the dollar. So that's why we don't do that. Okay. But if we take those other dollars and we put them into coordinated, orchestrated Facebook ad campaigns with singular focus on the services that are already in the mail piece that we already know is going to be delivered 3 times in the next year to the same households, then you get your impact. Okay.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's kind of like having a radio ad that you commit, a couple grand a month to. But then the radio says, you know what? If you're going to be nice enough to do that, we have this TV station. We'll just run you a bunch of ads for free on your TV station.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of like that. And it's not free. Obviously, you got to pay for the ads, but that's what Fusion is. We've been telling people in our podcast for years, Howie, the last 10 years?
Yeah.
That none of and we have clients that have been with us for 22 years. None of our clients that have been with us for a long time do 100% digital or 100% offline.
No.
None of them do that, okay? All of them have a mix. Well, this new technology, the new technology, the new platform, the new tracking platform, the new everything that came about during this merger, Fusion Dental Marketing is one of the things that it birthed, basically. It allowed us and allows us to see, listen, measure, record where these people are coming from, whether they're coming direct off the mail, off the website, off the Facebook, which ad, when. We know when we're deploying them. We know when they should react. We know when we stop deploying them. So all that stuff, it sounds real complicated. It's not It's not complicated at all for the dentist. The dentist, all they're doing is basically budgeting for it, and they can go take care of patients. But
right, and looking at the dashboard once in a while.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at the dashboard. Make sure your team is, answering the hard questions correctly, and make sure they're answering the phone. Now, Howie said there's more to it, and before we finish the podcast, I'm going to send you to the new npiClick.com website. There's a page for Fusion Dental Marketing. I think it's under services. If you click that, there's an infographic there that's really helpful for people to see. That should help you understand what Fusion is. There are other components to this making it successful, one of which is having a decent website to handle the traffic. One is having the availability of online scheduling, so you have fewer missed calls and more appointments from the marketing that you're already doing. Having that on your Facebook page helps as well. Having good reviews. You don't have to be the number one in your market, but somewhere in the top 3. Having those reviews show up in the box where the map is on a local search. All those things all matter. And it's becoming more and more and more, I'm not going to say necessary, but I'm going to say it's becoming more and more obvious to us that the ingredients to a long-lived dental marketing plan for the life or the career of a dentist or the life of a practice, where a dentist can just take care of patients. Just let your marketing company do what they're good at, right? The way you get there is by by having this list of assets, not just one thing at a time. There isn't one thing at a time that works really well forever. It will always be a mix. And who knows what's coming down the pipe in the future. I can assure you that, just like Fusion Dental Marketing, we will be there and we will test it. And through these podcasts and through our Dental Marketing Mastery Facebook group, we will share with you the data, the result data that we have found.
Yep, that's right.
But anyway, that's an introduction into Fusion Dental Marketing. It might be a picture of where you want to take the marketing for your own practice.
You bet. Yeah. We do the testing, so you don't have to. Anyway, thank you, my friends. And we'll look forward to chatting with you next week. Okay? Bye now. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can get all our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn.com, and on our websites newpatientsinc.com and npiClick.com.